Okay, good day everyone. So, welcome po sa ating third session in General Mathematics. And for this discussion, we're going to have our following objective. So, I hope we were able to gain and attain this at the end of this lecture. So, first, we're going to solve rational equations. Second, we're going to distinguish rational function from rational equation. Third, we're going to determine the intercept, the zeros in the asymptotes of rational functions. We're going to graph rational functions, solve problems involving rational functions and equations. And lastly, in your affective side, we are after, for now, is for you to show your mathematical attitude by identifying the properties of a rational function and following certain rules and practices in solving rational equations. So to start, let's have our introductory activity. We have complete the table. So from that, you as my student, I want you just to complete the given table here. I have here our first column or the column A, second column or the column B, the third column we're going to multiply A to B, and then lastly from our fourth column we're going to simplify our expression. So let's start po with our first row. So we're going to multiply 5 by x plus 1 5. So this will be like this. So 5 times x plus 1 5. So when we are multiplying, we're going to distribute po. So 5 times x is 5x plus 5 times 1, that is 5. All over 5 po. Next po, second row natin, 12 times m minus 1 over 12. We have 12m minus 12 over 12. Next, third row, we have 3x times 4 all over x plus 4. So we have 12x all over x plus 12x. Next, we have 10a times 1 over 2a plus 3 all over 5a. We have 10a all over 2a plus 30a all over 5a. And lastly, we have 12m multiplied to 2 all over 3m minus 5 all over 2m. We have 24m all over 3m minus 60m all over 2m. So, we're down to our column na isi-simplify natin yung nakuha nating pag-multiply po. So, we have 5x plus 5 divide 5, that is 1. Next, we have 12m. 12 divided by 12 is 1. Next, 12x divide x, that is what? 12 plus 12x. Here, pareho tayong may a, so cancel out. And 10 divide 2 is pwede pang masimplify, that is 5. Same here, parehong may a, and 30 divide 5 can be simplified, so this will be 6. So we have 11. And lastly, same m, 24 divide 3, that is 8, minus, divide ulit to, 60 divide 2 is 30, sorry. Okay, and then simplify, we have negative 22. So simple as that now when we are going to simplify and we were able to complete our given table. So with that, let's have our introductory question or our essential question based from that activity. So remember, hindi mo tayo nag-activity just to comply with just for that kind of activity, but also there's a relation from our a targeted topic for this session po. So, the question is, which of the terms in column A is the LCD of the expression in item column B? So, since for this week, this is the first week of the month October, so therefore, we're going to utilize the enhancement program basic day, wherein we're going to recall a certain topic or a certain concept that is very necessary for our discussion, and that is the LCD po. So, when we say LCD, ano nga po si LCD? That is the least common denominator. And least common denominator, meaning it is the smallest of all the common denominators po. So remember, bakit nga ba tayo nag-LCD, or why do we want to have a common denominator? Because remember po, we can't add fractions with different denominators. Always remember that. So before we can add, we can subtract, then we must make our denominators the same po. So that's why we are getting the least common denominator of our given expression. And let's see po, no, which is the LCD, or what is the LCD of our column B to column A. So dito, no, mapapansin natin ang x plus 1/5. Remember, ang denominator nito ay 1. So therefore, ang LCD nila is simply get the multiples of our denominator, si 1 and 5. So list down nyo lang naman po, yun lang naman po yung gagawin natin. No? And then, find for the least common denominator by simply what? Multiplying them. So 1 times 5, that is 5 po. So therefore, ang common denominator ng ating first row is 5, which is nakita natin sa column A din po. Now, next, we have our second row. M minus 1 over 12. So, same pa rin nung ating unang example. So, therefore, our LCD here is 12, which is nakita pa rin natin or present sa column A. Next, we have here 4 over x plus 4. So, remember, may 1 yan. So, x and 1. So, therefore, multiply, that is x. So, x po yung ating LCD para sa third row. Proceed tayo sa ating fourth row, no? We have 1 over 2a tapos 3 over 5a. So, sabi dito, 2a is what? 2 times a. Ang 5a is what? 5 times a. So, ano yung common nila? A lang po, and then multiply it by 5, and then kay 2. Yung the rest of the multiples. So, therefore, this will be 10a. So, ang ating LCD is 10a, which is present naman po sa ating column A. Next, lastly, proceed tayo with our last row, no, which is si 2 over 3m minus 5 over 2m po. So, 3m at saka 2m. And then, get the multiples. 3 times m, 2 times m. Ano yung same na multiples? Si m lang po, and then multiply it to the rest. So, this will be 6m. So, therefore, ang ating LCD for our given expression is 6m po. So, among those in the table, no, si row 1, 2, and 4, yung present na merong LCD from at our column B po. So, let's proceed with our second question. No? Discuss how to find the LCD. Remember, when we are finding for the LCD, what do we need to do? No? Bakit tayo naghahanap? Because we can add fractions or we can subtract fractions with different denominators po. So, before we can add them or subtract them, we must multiply, no, or we must make our denominators the same. So, first, no, find the least common multiple of our denominators. And then, after that, no, na makuha na natin yung least common multiple ng ating denominators, we can add na po or subtract our given expression. Okay? So, with that, no, ano ba yung mostly merong involved na LCD kapag po tayo ay nagsosolve, no, ng isang given expression? That is what? Saan po siya mostly involved? No, it involves in that kind of setup, no, naka-fractional yung notation natin. And remember po, ang merong fractional notation is we have the rational expression po. But specifically, we will going to discuss rational equations. Okay? So, let's have first some concept check, no? Tandaan natin, pag sinabi nating rational expression, that is in the form of P all over Q. Ibig sabihin, meron tayong numerator, meron tayong denominator. And that P and Q are what we call the polynomials, or it composed of polynomial expression. Now, remember, ano ba pag sinabi naman natin na polynomial expression po? Polynomial expression is what? It can have constant, it can have variables, it can have exponent, but always remember, it should have a non-negative exponent or simply just a positive exponent po. Na kung saan combination siya ng addition and subtraction po. So, always remember po, no, that polynomials, many, nomials is what? A term po. No? Ibig sabihin, many terms yung involved sa ating expression. Okay? So, it can be a constant, it can be a cubic, quadratic, and so on po. So, let's have rational equations po. From that rational expression po, no, pag sinama natin sila or pinagsama natin sila, indicating that the two rational expressions are equal, therefore we can call that as rational equations. Okay? So remember po, when we combine two rational expression equated by an equal sign, no, therefore that is a rational equations na po. So rational expression is just like this, no, 5 all over 2x. No? 3x squared plus 5x minus 1 all over 3x plus 2. So this is a rational expression. But when we have an equal sign, no, we are now pertaining to rational equations. Okay? Meaning to say, we are now after getting the value of your x for us to see if both sides of our expressions are equal po. Okay? And then, when we are solving equations, na kung saan it involves rational expression, remember po that we are using the concept of simplifying rational expression, factoring, determining our LCD, cancellation of common factors, and syempre, the properties of equality. And when we are solving rational equations, you have a choice po, no? Choice on how are you going to eliminate our fractions po. So, I will give you two concepts or two ways on how are we going to do that. So, first case, we have when each side of our equation is a single rational expression, we can use cross multiplication po. So, remember po, kung single to single lang po yung rational expression natin, no? Definitely, we can use only a cross multiplication po. So, these are the steps on how can we do that. First, we're going to eliminate the rational expression in the equation by multiplying both sides, forming a cross sign. Next, we're going to solve for the equation or finding for the value of your x. And lastly, for us to satisfy that value of your x na sinolve natin, no, we have to verify it. We have to check it. And how come? No, paano natin gagawin? Simply substitute the value of your x to the original equation po. Okay? So, let's have some sets of example, no, for us to apply the steps on how are we going to perform the case 1. So, let's solve for the equation 3 all over 5x equals 2 all over x minus 7. So, remember, cross-multiply lang tayo, no? 3 times x minus 7 equals 2 times 5x. And for us to simplify this, we're going to use distribution po. So, 3 times x is 3x, 3 times negative 7 is negative 21 equals 10x. And remember po, we have to combine like terms for us to solve for the value of your x. So, we have 3x minus 10x. Napunta po doon. Ito, napunta dito. Kaya magiging positive 21. So, we have negative 7x equals 21. Divide both sides by negative 7 to eliminate, no, ang ating numerical coefficient, leaving x only. So, we have 21 divided by negative 7 and that is negative 3. So therefore, that is our final answer. And remember, let's check this for us to verify if negative 3 would really satisfy our given equation. So this will be what? 3 all over 5 times negative 3 equals 2 all over negative 3 minus 7. So we have 3 all over negative 15 equals 2 all over negative 10. So as you can see, no, hindi pa sila equal. But meaning to say, no, hindi pa siya totally on our lowest term or hindi pa naka-simplest form yung ating given rational expression po. So we have to simplify it, no, by getting the multiples for the both numerator and denominator. So this one is divisible by 3. This one is divisible by 2. So 3 divided 3 is 1. Negative 15 divided 3, that is 5. So therefore, negative 1/5 po. Here, 2 divided 2 is 1. Negative 10 divided 2 is negative 5 po. So therefore, no, correct po tayo, no. Really, the value of your x is negative 3 for us to verify that the equation are equal po. Okay, so that's it for our first example. Proceed tayo sa second example. We have, so for the value of your x, so let's have negative 4 all over x plus 3 equals 5 all over x minus 3. So again, let's use cross multiplication. We have negative 4 multiplied to x minus 3 equals 5 multiplied to x plus 3. So let's use distribution, no? Negative 4x plus 12 equals 5x plus 15. So again, let's combine all the like terms. Transpose lang natin ito and then ito. So we have 15 minus 12. So negative 4x minus 5x is negative 9x equals 15 minus 12, that is 3. So divide both sides by negative 9, leaving x only, and then simplify. 3 divided by negative 9, that is negative 1/3. And for us to check, no, let's substitute it to the original equation. So we have negative 4 all over negative 1/3 plus 3 equals 5 all over negative 1/3 minus 3. So, solve muna natin yung nasa ilalim, no, using butterfly method. So, this will be what? Negative 1 plus 9 all over 3 equals 5 all over negative 1 minus 9 all over 3. So we have negative 4 all over 8 thirds and 5 all over negative 10 thirds. And para ma-simplify natin to, no, we're going to use again the flip method or the reciprocal method. So we have negative 4 multiplied to 3 all over 8. So this is negative 12 over 8 po. And the other one, we have 5 multiplied to 3, negative 3 over 10, that is negative 15 over 10 po. And again, remember po, no, kung mapapansin natin, hindi pa equal yung ating both side. Remember, we have to simplify it po. Get the lowest term. So this one, they are both divisible by 4. Here, they are both divisible by 5 po. So we have negative 3 all over 2 equals negative 3 all over 2. So this correct po, no? Really, the value of your x is negative 1/3 for us to satisfy the given equation. Proceed tayo with our third example. Let's find or solve for the value of your x in this given equation. So let's use cross multiplication. We have 1 times 5 minus x equals x times 1. So we have 5 minus x equals x. So negative x minus x equals negative 5. So we have negative 2x equals negative 5. Divide both sides by negative 2, leaving x only, and our final answer is positive 5 halves. Bakit naging positive 5 halves? Kasi remember, parehong may negative yung taas at baba po. And let's check po, no? 1 over 5 halves equals 1 over 5 minus 5 halves. Let's solve this first. Okay? So Butterfly method lang uli. So, 10 minus 5 over 2 or 5 halves po. So, we have 1 over 5 halves equals 1 over 5 halves. So, as you can see, no, equal na agad sila dito. Kitang-kita pa lang. Pero again, let's have this in the simplest form by using the reciprocal method. So, 1 times 2/5 equals 1 times 2/5. And therefore, our final answer will be 2/5 is equal to 2/5. So, 5f is the correct value for us to verify that the equations are both equal po. Proceed tayo to another example. X squared all over x plus 1 equals 1 over x plus 1. So, as you can see, no, pareho yung ating denominator. In this case, mas madali itong isolve. Mas madali natin makikita yung value ng x natin. No? So, simply pa rin, no, we were going to use cross multiplication. X squared times x plus 1 equals x plus 1 times 1. So, remember, no, pareho yung ating denominator, and the usual thing we're going to do, no, after we do the cross multiplication is to distribute. Tama po ba? No, but here, since kita na agad natin na pareho naman na yung ating denominator, no, why not we eliminate that already? Okay? Wag na natin pahabain pa, no? Kasi kapag pinahaba pa natin, in-expand natin, the other side will be cubic. No, and then after all, no, at the end we were going to factor a cubic kind of a function po or expression na. Okay? So this time, no, para mas mabilis natin makita yung value ng x natin, since pareho naman po yung denominators natin, no, let's eliminate that already. So divide both sides by x plus 1. So cancel out, leaving x squared equals 1. And for us, no, to get only x, what we can do para matanggal tong si 2 is to get the roots or the square root of both sides. So, what will be the square root of x squared? That will be x equals 1 po. So, this will be our final answer. And let's check if it is correct. No, 1 squared all over 1 plus 1 equals 1 over 1 plus 1. So, we have 1 half equals 1 half. And yes, it is correct na satisfy naman niya ang ating given equation po. Let's move on with our last example po. Let's solve for the value of your y. So again, use cross multiplication. We have y plus 3 multiplied to y minus 1 equals 4 times y minus 1. So, FOIL method tayo. Same pa rin. Tie bag, distribute. So, y squared minus y plus 3y minus 3 equals 4y minus 4. Combine like terms lang tayo. No? Y squared minus y plus 3y minus 4y minus 3 plus 4 equals 0 po. So, this will be y squared. Ito ay 2y minus 4y is negative 2y and then plus 1 equals 0. So, as you can see, no, hindi lang single y yung nakuha nating value, unlike from the other set of example. Tayo ay nakakuha ng quadratic equation po. So, at this point, no, what we can do for us to get the roots or to get the value of your y is we have to factor this out po. No? So, pa-factor tayo, mag-factoring method tayo. Remember, from the concept check, one concept we do when we are simplifying expression is by factoring. So, factor ng 1 na magiging 2, syempre is 1 and 1. Okay? And since negative yung gitna natin, no, kailangan negative din po yung both 1 natin. And remember, negative times negative is positive. Kaya satisfy pa rin natin yung mga signs ng ating quadratic equation. So, pag finactor out natin to, this will be what? Y minus 1 times y minus 1 or y minus 1 quantity squared po. Okay? And then equals 0. So, para mas mabilis na lang, no, ito na lang po yung kunin natin. No, since kapag ito, same rin naman po. Okay? So, para makuha na natin yung value na ito, remember as we done earlier, no, para matanggal si squared, square root natin yung both sides. So, y minus 1 equals the square root of 0 is 0. And yun, transpose lang natin si y. Then, therefore, we get the value of your y, which is 1 po. And let's see if this will satisfy our given equation. So, 1 plus 3 all over 1 minus 1 equals 4 over 1 minus 1. So, we have 4 all over 0 equals 4 all over 0. So, ano nang natatandaan natin sa gantong klase ng equation? Ay, natandaan natin, no? From our last discussion, we also encountered this kind of scenario, no? Na kapag 0 yung ating denominator, we call that as undefined solution po. So, remember, undefined solution, that will make, that kind of solution will make our movement discontinuous or nagkakaroon tayo ng discontinuity pagdating po sa behavior ng ating given expression, most likely kapag ginaraph natin yan. And that kind of scenario, no, is rejectable. No, we have to reject that kind of setting po. Okay? Since po, take note of this, no? Because zeros appear on the denominators, the fraction are undefined. Okay? So, thus, 1 is a false solution. Take note, false solution siya, no? Although nakita natin, equal naman po yung both sides of our equation. And the equation has no solution po. And that such false solutions are often called as extraneous solutions po. Remember po, hindi po permissible, no, sa ating given expression or sa given equation natin na magkaroon tayo ng 0 as our denominator po. So, pag ganun po, no, we can conclude that the solution is extraneous po. And when we say extraneous solution, that is our apparent solution po, no? Apparent solution that does not solve its given equation. Pag sinabi nating apparent, no, it's evident or that is our actual solution po na kung saan it does not solve its equation. Remember, no, hindi lang po 0 yung makakapag-make ng ating solution as extraneous. So, most likely, no, nakapag-solve tayo ng value ng x, but then, nung chinek natin sila, no, it does not work. Okay, the solution does not fit in or hindi niya na-satisfy yung equation natin. Then therefore, we can tell that it is also extraneous solution. Okay, kasi nga sabi, it is a false solution po. So, hindi lang po 0 yung makakapagpa-make ng ating equation, no, as extraneous solution, but also at some point kapag po hindi na satisfy ng value ng x natin yung given equation, then therefore that is also extraneous solution. But always remember to double check, no, baka maling mo sa process lang pala tayo nagkamali kaya hindi na satisfy, but then there is a real or defined solution naman po pala. So always check first, always double check, always see to it that the process is correct po. But, ayun, false solution is often called as the extraneous solutions. Okay, so let's proceed now for some exercises, no? This time, I'm going to allow you to solve independently, and at the same time, let's meet our objective number 6, wherein you're going to show your mathematical attitude by following certain rules and practices in solving a rational equation po. So, let's have our first given example. Let's say x plus 3 all over 2x equals 5. So, I'll give you a minute for you to answer that. Okay, no? Siguro, we can post na lang po and then proceed na lang po sa pag-solve. And then, let's continue na po. So, cross-multiply tayo again, no? For us to verify the answer. So, x plus 3 multiply to 1 equals 5 times 2x. Kasi remember, no? Still, it can be in a fractional form wherein 1 yung kanyang denominator. So this will be x plus 3 equals 10x. So combine like terms, this will be negative 9x equals negative 3. Divide both sides by negative 9, leaving x only, and our final answer will be positive 1/3. So this is the value of your x. And let's check. No? So we have 1/3 plus 3 all over 2 times 1/3 equals 5 po. And then, let's have our solution. Simplify, 3 times 3 is 9 plus 1 is 10. So, 10 over 3. Divided by 2 times 1 is 2 all over 3 po equals 5. And for us to simplify this, remember, we're going to use again reciprocal or flipping method. So, 10 all over 3 multiply to 3 halves. As you can see, parehong may 3 sa taas baba. Simplify nyo na yan. Cancel out na po. And then, matitira na lang si 10 all over 2. And 10 divide 2 is 5 po. Equals 5. So, correct. No, that the value of your x is 1/3 that will satisfy our given equation. Proceed tayo with another set of exercise. We have x plus 1 all over x minus 5 equals 5/3. So let's solve for its value. So we have x plus 1 multiplied to 3 equals 5 times x minus 5. So again, pwede nating i-post yung video, no, para makapag-solve tayo beforehand bago natin siya tignan yung or i-reveal yung answer. So next, we have 3x plus 3 equals 5x minus 25. So 3x minus 5x equals negative 25 minus 3. Transpose lang po, no? So, we have negative 2x equals negative 28. Divide both sides by negative 2, leaving x only, and our final answer is positive 40. So, let's substitute. We have 14 plus 1 all over 14 minus 5 equals 5/3. So, we have 15 all over 9. And para maging equal po sila, no, let's lowest term this. Divisible sila pareho by 3, and that will be 5/3 equals 5/3. So, correct po, no? 14 is our solution that will satisfy our given equation. So, hope that we learn, no, on how are we going to perform our case 1 using cross multiplication. So proceed po tayo sa other way on how to eliminate the fraction, the case 2. So when a rational equation is not expressed as a proportion, meaning to say with one term on each side, no, o kaya po hindi po pareho yung dami ng term na involved sa side natin, no, we can solve it by reducing the fraction to a common denominator and then solve the equality of the numerators. And most likely, the method we are going to use here for us to simplify the rational equation is using the Gram method. So earlier, we used cross multiplication. Here, we were going to use Gram method po. Okay? So, sa Cram method, pag sinabi natin Cram method, C stands for clear all fractions by multiplying both sides of the equation by the LCD of the terms. R, remove all grouping symbols if there is any. A, add or subtract similar terms. And M, multiply or divide both sides by the numerical coefficient of the variable, leaving only the variable on the left side of the equation with coefficient equal to y. And syempre, we have to check the result. So when we are using Cram method, actually we are applying the concept of LCD. Just like we do earlier in the introductory activity po. So, yun yung pinaka best process or yung technique natin for us to simplify our equation kapag hindi po proportion yung both sides of the equation. So, let's start po with our first example. So, I have here 3 all over x plus 1 half equals 5 all over x. Okay, so again, our first step using C is by clearing all the fraction using the LCD po, the least common denominator. So let's find first our LCD. So list down first our denominator, x, 2, and x. And then list down all the multiples of our denominators. And then combine all multiples that are the same and then multiply it on the rest of the other multiples po. So, as you can see, pareho po tayo may x. So, single x na lang ito, no? Count it as 1 and then multiply it with the other multiple, which is 2. So, therefore, our LCD is 2x. So, we're going to multiply each rational expression by 2x. So, we have 3 all over x multiplied to 2x plus 2x multiplied to 1 half equals 2x multiplied to 5 all over x. And then, let's simplify po. So, as you can see, pareho po tayo may x sa labas, no? So, cancel this out. Matitira na lang si 2. Multiply it by 3, that is 6. Plus, here, no, as you can see, pareho tayo may 2 sa labas at sa ilalim, cancel this out. No, matitira si x multiply by 1, that is x. Equals, ganun din dito, pareho tayo may x sa labas at sa ilalim, cancel this out and matitira nilang si 2 times 5, that is 10. And for us to find the value of your x, no, combine like terms po. So, transpose natin to, magiging 10 minus 6 and the value of your x is 4. So, for our last step, remember to check the value if it will really satisfy. So again, no, para tayo ay ma-verify if our answer is correct, let's substitute the value of 4 to our original equation po. So this will be 3 all over 4 plus 1 over 2 equals 5 all over 4 po. So let's use butterfly method. Ayan, para mas makita nyo na talaga na butterfly siya. Ito, multiply. Ito, multiply. And then, sa baba, multiply din po. So, this will be 3 times 2 is 6. 4 times 1 is 4. 4 times 2, that is 8. And that is 5 all over 4 po. Leaving, 6 plus 4, that is 10. All over 8 equals 5 over 4. And then let's lowest term this. They are divisible by 2. So this will be 5 all over 4 equals 5 all over 4. So therefore, 4 is really our value to satisfy our given equation. Okay? Next po, proceed tayo with our second example. So I have here 3 all over x minus 2 plus 2 all over x equals 1 over x minus 2 po. So again, let's have first our LCD. So x minus 2, x, and then x minus 2. So pareho na tayo may x minus 2. This will count as 1 na lang. Mumultiply na natin siya sa natirang multiple, which is si x. No need na po natin, no, to distribute pa kasi maka-cancel out din naman po to later on when we multiply it for each rational expression. So, 3 all over x minus 2, mumultiply natin kay x minus 2 at kay x. Plus, again, multiply the LCD for each term equals x minus 2 times x multiply to 1 over x minus 2. And then, let's simplify. So, pag minultiply ito, pansinin nyo, pareho yung labas at ilalim, maka-cancel out, matitira na lang si x times 3, that is 3x. Plus, parehong may x sa ilalim at sa labas, maka-cancel out. Matitira na lang si x minus 2 times 2. Equals, eto, pareho yung labas, matitira na lang si x times 1 is x. And then, simplify natin. So, this will be 2x minus 4 equals x. And then combine like terms. So 3x plus 2x minus x equals 4 po. So this will be 5x minus x is 4x equals 4. So divide both sides by 4, leaving x only, and the value of your x is 1. So let's see if that is correct, no, na makakapagpa-satisfy ng ating given equation. So let's substitute. So we have 3 all over 1 minus 2 plus 2 all over 1 equals 1 over 1 minus 2. So 3 all over negative 1 plus 2 equals 1 over negative 1. This will be negative 3 plus 2 equals negative 1, and negative 1 is equals to negative 1. So correct po, no? The value of your x should be 1 for us to verify that the equations are equal. Okay, so proceed tayo with our next example. So let's have here, no, 2 all over x minus 2 equals x all over x minus 2 minus 4. So again, get first the LCD. X minus 2, and sa 4, 1 yan. And as you can see, no, same tayo as 1 yan. X minus 2 times 1 yan, which is still x minus 2. So therefore, ito yung LCD natin. So multiply natin each rational expression by x minus 2 po. X all over x minus 2 times x minus 2. Minus 4 times x minus 2. Okay, so pareho yung labas at ilalim, 2 na lang. Pareho, x na lang. Minus 4x, and then plus 8. And then let's simplify po. So, sige, no? Baliktad rin. Okay lang naman po, no? Kahit baliktad po yung ating expression as long as we do not abide the law of math. No? So, 2 minus 8, this will be negative 3x. So, negative 6 equals negative 3x. Divide both sides by negative 3, leaving x only, and the value of your x is positive 2 po. So, let's see if that will satisfy our equation. So, 2 all over 2 minus 2 equals 2 all over 2 minus 2 minus 4 po. So, 2 all over 0 equals 2 all over 0 minus 4. So, again, no, nakakam up na naman po tayo ng discontinuity wherein 0 yung ating denominator. So, therefore, this is undefined yung solution. We can call this as extraneous solution po. Okay? So, ayun po yung gagawin natin, no? Kapag po tayo ay nag-verify ng sagot at false yung solution na nakuha natin. Extraneous solution po yung ilalagay. Okay? Okay, proceed po tayo. Another example. Solve for this. We have our LCD, x plus 1, and then x squared minus 1. Okay, so as you can see, no, meron tayong tinatawag na x squared minus 1. At ang gantong klase ng expression po, no, ang tawag po natin dyan is the sum and the difference of two squares. Actually, may factor to eh. At ang factor niyan ay si sum nga po at si difference ng two squares. When you say the sum and difference of two squares, meaning, no, it allows our factors na kung saan factorable siya since they are perfect square po. No, remember perfect square si 1, perfect square si 4, si 9, si 16, si 25, si 36, and so on. So remember po, no, the square or the sum and difference of a two squares are always a perfect square. No, kaya natin sa ma-factor out as itself. No, kagaya nga po ni 1, ni 9, ni 4, ni 25, ni 16, and so on. Same thing with your first term. No? Si x squared, factorable din siya as x times x. X raised to 4, factorable din siya as x squared and x squared. Okay, so remember, ganun po yung ginagawa natin, no? Kapag po ang involved na given expression is applicable to the sum and difference of two square. So, ayan, yun yung factor nga, no? So, kunin na natin yung common multiples, no? Pareho tayo may x plus 1. So, single as 1 na yun, count as 1, and then multiply it to the other multiple. So, therefore, this will be our LCD po. Okay? So, let's multiply it. So, x plus 1, x minus 1, multiply to 4x plus 1 all over x plus 1 minus x plus 1 times x minus 1 times 3. Okay? Equals 12 over x squared minus 1 multiply to x plus 1, x minus 1. Okay. So, for us to simplify this, no, cancel out, natira na lang si x minus 1. And then, 4x plus 1. Next, eto wala. So, diretso natin, no, natin na i-multiply. Para mas mabilis natin ma-multiply, remember, eto we already have this kind of equation. Or expression po. That is equal to x squared minus 1. Okay? So, para mabilis natin ma-multiply. So, negative 3 times x squared is negative 3x squared. Negative 3 times negative 1, that is positive 3. Okay? Para mabilis. And then, ito, pareho lang po ito dito. So, matitira na lang si 12. Ito na lang yung sisimplify natin using Boyle method. So, this will be 4x squared plus x minus 4x minus 1. Minus 3x squared plus 3 minus 12 equals 0. So, nag-combine like terms muna tayo lahat. Okay? So, this will be what? Ito yung like terms natin, x squared. Ito ay negative 3x. Ito ay what? Negative 1 plus 3 is positive 2 minus 12 is negative 10 equals 0. So, again, no, familiar na tayo sa ganitong klase ng equation. Quadratic to, no? At we can still factor this out for us to get the value of your x po. So, ano ba yung factor ni 10 na pwedeng maging 3? No? That is only 5 and 2. At since negative to, it's either positive yung isa, negative. So, para malaman natin kung sino yung positive at sino yung negative, remember po, yung sign ng ating middle term. Ano yung middle term natin? Negative. At sinusundan niya yung mas malaking number. So, therefore, negative yung 5, positive yung 2 po. And then, equals to 0. So, para makuha natin yung value ni x, equate po. X minus 5 equals 0 and then x plus 2 equals 0. So, transpose, we have positive 5 and the other one is negative 2. So, therefore, mayroon po tayong two solutions, no? 5 and negative 2 na kung saan masasatisfy yung both, masasatisfy yung ating equations po. Sige, let's try po, no? The first value which is 5. So, 4 times 5 plus 1 all over 5 plus 1 minus 3 equals 12 over 5 squared minus 1. So, 20 plus 1 is 21 all over 6 minus 3 equals 12 over 25 minus 1 is 24. Simplify this, we have 21 minus 18 all over 6 and that is 3 over 6. Tama po ba? Okay. We have 12 over 24. So, since hindi pa sila equal, therefore, we have to lowest term this expression. So, divisible sila both by 3. Ito, divisible by 12. So, this will be 1/2 equals 1/2. So, correct po, no? Nasatisfy naman ni value 5 yung ating given equation. Sige. Proceed po tayo, no, with other value. Let me erase this one, no, para dito na lahat ng ating solutions. Okay, so negative 2. So 4 times negative 2 plus 1 all over negative 2 plus 1 minus 3 equals 12 over negative 2 squared minus 1. So negative 8 plus 1 over negative 1 minus 3. 12 equals 12 over negative 4 minus 1. So this will be what? Negative 7 all over negative 1 minus 3 equals 12 over negative 5. This will be 7, positive 7 minus 3 equals 12 over 5. Okay, so let's have in this side, no? 4 times negative 2 plus 1 all over negative 2 plus 1 minus 3 equals 12 all over negative 2 squared minus 1. So this will be negative 8 plus 1 all over negative 1 minus 3 equals 12 over positive 4 minus 1. Here, pag sinimplify negative 7 divided by negative 1, that is 7 minus 3 equals 12 divided by 3 po. So therefore, this will be 4 equals 4. And correct pa rin, no? Negative 2 is also a solution for us to satisfy the given equation. So, remember po, no, it is possible, no, to have solutions as many as you can if ever nakakuha nga talaga tayo ng two solutions that really satisfy our equation. Okay? So, let's proceed to another example. Let's solve for y in this given example. So, as you can see, no, as our LCD, ang denominator nating pareho ay y plus 1. Okay? And then the other one naman kasi is only 1. So, same denominator count as 1. So, therefore, our LCD is y plus 1 po. So, let's multiply it. Okay? Y plus 1. Plus y plus 1 multiply it to 2 equals y plus 1 multiply it to 3y plus 1 all over y plus 1. And then cancel out, matitira is 3y plus 9 plus 2y plus 2 equals cancel out 3y plus 1. So combine like terms na ulit tayo. 3y plus 2y minus 3y equals 1 minus 9 minus 2 po. So, transpose lang po yung nangyari. Okay? So, ito pareho. Cancel nyo na. Natira na lang ay 2y. 1 minus 9 is negative 8. Minus 2 is negative 10 po. So, divide both sides by 2, leaving y only, and the value of your y is negative 5 po. Okay? So, let's check if that is the correct value to satisfy our equation. So, 3 times negative 5 plus 3 all over negative 5 plus 1 plus 2 equals 3 times negative 5 plus 1 all over negative 5 plus 1. Simplify, negative 5 plus 3 is negative 2 times 3 is negative 6. Here is negative 4 plus 2 equals negative 15 plus 1 is negative 14 all over negative 4. Okay? Simplify natin. Butterfly method ulit. So, negative 6 minus 6 all over 4. Okay? Sorry, negative 6 minus 8. Okay? Nagkamali na si ma'am. Okay. Equals negative 14 all over 4. So, pag sinimplify, negative 14 all over 4 equals negative 14 all over 4. As you can see, equal naman na, no? But remember, mayroon pa tong lowest term, no? Much better, no, na i-lowest term natin. They are both divisible by 2. So, our final answer is negative 7 halves equals negative 7 halves. So, ayun po. Correct pa rin naman, no? And negative 5 is really our solution to satisfy our given equation. So, I hope we really understand or come up with the correct answer. So, let's have some exercises for us, again, to achieve our 6th objective. So, let's say I have this given expression or equation, I mean. 2 is fine for the LCD here. So, remember this one, since it is a quadratic equation, no? It is needed first to factor out And remember what would be the factor of 3 that will make it 4? Syempre 3 and 1. And para mapag-add natin yun, dapat pareho yung sign nila. And that should be both negative since our middle term is negative po. And negative times negative still positive naman po. So the factor of this one is x minus 3, x minus 1. Next, second denominator is x minus 3. Third denominator, 4x minus 4. And that is what? Still factorable po, no? 4 times x minus 1 yung kanyang factor. So, do we agree on that? Okay. So, proceed tayo, no? As we can see, pareho po ang x minus 1 set as or count that as 1. Next, pareho pong x minus 3, count that as 1. And then, multiply it to the 4 na kung saan natitira nating multiple. So, therefore, this will be our LCD. Okay, so since we already have our LCD, now let's multiply it to our rational expression or each rational expression. So, we have 4 times x minus 1 times x minus 3. Multiply it to 6 all over x squared minus 4x plus 3 minus 1 all over x minus 3. Multiply it to x minus 1, x minus 3, and 4 equals 1 over 4x minus 4 multiply to 4 times x minus 1, x minus 3. And then, let's cancel out. So, remember this one is the same with here. So, matitira na lang si 4. Multiply it with 6, that is 24. Minus, this one is just the same. And remember, no, kapag minultiply naman natin yung natira natin kay 1, still the same. So, just write down x minus 1 and then 4 equals this one, pareho, ito, tsaka ito. Matitira na lang si x minus 3. And then, let's simplify. So, this will be what? Negative 4x and positive 4. Remember, no? Kasi dinidistribute din natin at the same time yung sign. Equals x minus 3. Combine like terms, negative 4x minus x equals negative 3 minus 4, negative 24. And that will be negative 5x equals negative 7 minus 24 is negative 31. All over negative 5. And the value of your x is positive 31 all over 5. And in this case, no, medyo mabigat na yung value natin. Fraction siya. And at the same time, we have a complex rational expression. No? It's a good thing po, no, to use our calculators na at this point. Kaysa mag-solve tayo individually. Remember, we're just checking, but yun, para mas ma-make sure pa rin natin, no, let's use our calculator. And upon using my calculator, no, it is check po, no, it is correct po that both sides of the equation will be equal to 5 over 104 equals 5 over 104. So, see to it na yun talaga yung makakome up natin, no, na value, no, na kung saan mag-i-equal yung both sides ng ating equation po. So, again, use your calculator na po, no, to check and verify if the value 31 over 5 is really our answer. Okay? So, let's move on with our last example po or exercise. No? Mas challenging kapag ganito yung expression. No? Try natin syempre isa pa, no, para mas ma-challenge pa tayo at mas ma-practice po how to perform LCD, some cancellations, and simplifying po. Okay? So, let's have our second example. So, I have here this given equation. Let's find for the LCD, x plus 1. Remember, may factor din po ito, no? 3 and 1 will make 4. And since pare-parehong plus, so therefore, puro plus din po yung ating involved na equation. And x plus 3. So, since as 1 na yung x plus 3 and x plus 1, therefore, our LCD is here. And let's multiply it for each rational expression. So we have this one. Okay? Plus x plus 3, x plus 1, multiply to 3x plus 5 all over x squared plus 4x plus 3 equals x plus 3, x plus 1 equals 2 all over, not, not equals multiply pa rin po. Okay, 2 all over x plus 3 po. And then simplify. So, cancel out, matitira si x plus 3, and then x, plus, ito po, cancel out, matitira si 3x plus 5, equals, cancel out, matitira si 2 times x plus 1. So, therefore, this will be x squared plus 3x plus 5 equals 2x plus 2. And then, simplify this by combining the like terms. So, sige, no? Extend na natin dito. So, this will be x squared plus 3x minus 2x plus 5 minus 2 equals 0. And then, let's simplify. So, combine like terms, we have x squared. 6x minus 2x is 4x. 5 minus 2, that is positive 3 equals 0. And as you can see, quadratic na naman po yung nabuo nating equation. No? So, therefore, we have to factor this out. And actually, no, it's the same with our second denominator here in our rational equation. So, therefore, we already have our factor. And that is x plus 3 and x plus 1. So, therefore, we have x plus 3 equals 0 and x plus 1 equals 0. And our value is negative 3 and negative 1 po. Na kung saan masasatisfy yung ating given equation po. Okay? So, again, no, medyo mabigat-bigat na yung solving natin. Pwede nyo pong gamitin yung calcul nyo talaga, no, to verify. Pero, sige, try tayo ng isa. I believe talaga namang masasatisfy natin. Okay? So, we have negative 3 all over negative 3 plus 1 plus 3 times negative 3 plus 5 all over negative 3 squared plus 4 times negative 3 plus 3 equals 2 all over negative 3 plus 3. Dito pa lang, no, kitang-kita na natin that this will be 0 po. Okay, so remember, pag naging 0 na denominator natin, therefore, that these two values are what we called extraneous solution. Again, extraneous solution po ito, no? Kasi makaka-come up tayo ng undefined solution. Same here, no? Kapag nag-substitute tayo ng negative 1 din dito, no? Extraneous din yung solution since 0 yung ating makukuha denominator. So, always remember to check pa din talaga, no? Para mas ma-verify natin kung tama yung sagot natin at the same time kung makaka-come up tayo sa extraneous solution. Okay? So, yun, that's it po for our discussion about rational equation. So, we were able to solve rational equation in two ways such as cross multiplication and Cram method. So, it's up to you what will you use, no, depending on the situation. But remember po, Cram method is also applicable in single to single. Pwede din natin siyang gamitin kapag po single yung both terms natin kasi remember LCD naman tayo after and some cancellation process. Okay po, so let's continue the video on the next one. Thank you so much.